Hey, so today I want to talk about something I wrote about on my Substack, which is about self-coercion, but not self-coercion in the way that you force yourself to do certain things, or you feel obliged to live a certain way. So it's not that type of coercion, but it's the kind of less visible type of force, which is like the kind of the reverse. It's like the constraint, like the restriction, and like the rules about what's kind of forbidden. And I think the past couple years I've improved in the sense of like not letting myself be forced by external sources to do things a certain way, or like having authority to say no, I don't want to live like this. But at the same time, I had things I want to do, and kind of an idea of how I want to live my life, and also what's kind of possible with my personal constraints. And I have a lot of ideas of what I want to do, but I just don't do them. It's in my head. It's like a big there's like chains, and yeah, it's not allowed. You're not allowed to, and it's like I'm trapped in sort of a jail, and you're not allowed to be yourself. You just stay in the fucking jail. Like, why do you want to get out? You're not supposed to leave, or there's this something like that in my head, that for some reason I don't allow myself to be who I am. So I think in the past few years I've been stuck in between. Okay, now I don't live according to the rules of other people, but I also don't live according to my rules and my truth. And so I'm kind of in between, like kind of in a dead, like I'm not I'm not doing anything. Because at least if I were to do things as society, wants you to be, and just at least I would have maybe a job or something, right? But right now I just I'm just in a sort of very weird void of nothingness, and it's really hard to move forward. So I realized that that's kind of the next step. It's like the first step is, okay, I don't let the external things influence me so much, but there's still that sense of, sometime when I grew up as a kid, I learned that expressing myself is bad, or being myself is bad, and I've internalized it to the degree that it's almost illegal to be myself. Like, it's a crime, it's an offense, it's just the most terrible thing to be myself. And in not being myself, I'm also not sharing my gifts, and I'm not being of service to anyone, and especially to myself, because it's like not fun to just be doing nothing. You don't get a lot of sense of achievement. And yeah, so I've been trying to think, what are the things that make me kind of like hold me back? Why do I hold back? Why do I not allow myself to be me? Like, why am I so mean to myself? Why am I so harsh and judgmental? And like, it's the same with making this video. So I wanted to make a YouTube channel for quite some years, and it was just never the right moment, or like, facing camera is super awkward, and I didn't know really how to do it. Like, it requires a lot of technical skills, and it was just too overwhelming. So I just do some stuff, and then I'm like, yeah, this suck. Just, it's terrible, and I don't want to look at it. And then I give up for like years until I do my second attempt. And I think I've tried a bit more like in 2020, and now it's already 2024, so it's like 4 years when like I put up maybe 5 videos and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. Or it's not even that I'm done, it's just like, it's just it's a pain in the ass. I don't know, it's like I just didn't want to think about it, and then just time passed or something. But if I had done it for 4 years, like, it would be amazing. And that's what I want me to be able to do, is like to keep persevering. But yeah, so this is a new attempt in a way, and I think I've been inspired by other people who maybe have shown me something that's more actionable than what I was trying to do before, which is just talking. And just, talk, record, just don't edit, don't do nothing, just talk to the camera and just practice that, make it a habit, and then maybe you can move to next stages where like you make things a bit more fancier, you can edit and blah blah blah. But I think I was making it so hard for myself to even start, like by having very high standards of what I want as a result, and that not being able to deliver that, and then be like, oh, I'm shit. Anyway, so the thing about being me, and like that sensation of like it's almost a sin, or like, yeah, a bad thing. I know deep in me that making videos is one way that I break free of that, because I want to do it, and there's many fears coming with it, and it's not even like the perception. I think there's like, okay, there's the perception of other people, but I think the worst is my own perception, because like seeing yourself is not always very nice, and it's a bit too truthful as a reflection. I feel like when you see your face in a mirror, it's kind of direct time, and it doesn't feel the same when it's a camera lens for some reason. Because if you watch the video a few days after, it's already like the past you, but then you're kind of more objective, and you can perceive things about yourself that you're not, maybe I don't know if you're not supposed to see them, but in the current time we live in, we are able to do that. But it's showing kind of things that like you see yourself how you are, and because of that, I think there's a lot of pressure that you have to show up in a more glowy version of yourself, and I'm not capable of doing that. And then I feel like, oh, I can't do this, or like I can't do my hair in a fancy way, I can't do makeup, I can't blah blah blah, so I can't film a video because I feel I don't have the confidence to just show my bare face or something like that. Yeah, the other kind of restrictions, of course, it's the fear that what I do is kind of not going to have any positive result or impact, or maybe it's a waste of time, or it won't like, yeah, there's maybe expectations of some result of some sort, and if I don't have these results in like the expected time, and then I will get disappointed and like, what's wrong with me, and like have this kind of self-deprecating, no, I don't know, anyway, like kind of negative thoughts, or like about myself and the way I view myself is like, oh, you're just a failure. Of course you can't make it. Why did you think you could do that? You're so arrogant, blah blah blah. And there's fear of failing. But I think my biggest fear is just the fear of giving up, or like losing my drive or interest, because I think that's what happens the most to everything I did in my life, that I start doing something and then for a few weeks, maybe maximum, I will get super intense and then it just goes away, or like I find something a bit too difficult, or like I'm just too tired to think about it, and it just goes. And then I look back and I'm like, oh, here is all the 100 projects that I abandoned. It's not even giving up, it's like more like neglect, or abandon. It's like, oh, I forgot about you. It's like, why am I giving birth to so many projects and then not keeping up with any of those? So I think that's the biggest fear for me, is that once I start, then I have to keep going, and it feels like almost like a burden. And in that sense, maybe the staying in the jail is kind of safe, because, well, there's nothing to do in here. You can't control anything. You kind of just very passive. And it has it has a sense of safety maybe, but it's also frustrating and sad, because you can only live in your mind in a way. That's the only escape you have, is just to live in your head, and I think that's what I've been doing. Just have a lot of nice stories in my head about what my life could be, and then never actually taking a step to have a life that's at least a little bit closer to what I want. So yeah, I think that's the thoughts I had. So starting from now, this is the first video. Okay, I have to make more than one, otherwise, this is all bullshit. So starting with this video, I'm gonna post more talking videos like that, and we'll see what happens. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.